everyone, it's me, Kels, back with another YouTube video. So today's video is going to be on Epic 7 and it's going to be based on a little series that I'm going to start on. I've been trying to work on it for a while, but I'm finally getting down to it. Sorry, I've been kind of lazy, but it's okay. It's going to be based on a series that kind of showcased the units in the game. Today's video is going to be based on the 3-star ice units of this game. So let's get started. As of today, there are only 12 3-star ice units in the game. Aether is Prince Aether, and this is a male. This is not a female, this is a male, okay? He kind of looks like it, but catfish. Trust me, I was catfished by him. So, you know, it doesn't really help when they also give him this interesting skin, which is basically a white satin dress. But, whatever, we see you, Smile Gate, we see you giving in to the fans. So Aether is a 3-star Ice Soul Weaver, and his first skill basically gives him a 40% chance to decrease speed. The second skill heals and dispels 2 debuffs, and it also increases his own combat readiness. The heal is based on the target's max health and the caster's attack. Also, you can SOULBURN his second skill, and that lets him basically increase the amount that is recovered. Lastly, Spirit's Call lets him heal all his allies and gives a barrier as well. The heal is weirdly based on the caster's attack and the target's max health, but the barrier is also focused on his attack. It's kind of a weird thing because this is a Soul Weaver, and we kind of don't expect Soul Weavers to basically have skills that kind of scales on attack, but this one kind of does. And like, it's a flaw to him because his imprint gives you flat attack, but like, you kind of want your healer to survive a little bit, so you kind of want it tanky, so you're going to run in like speed, HP, or HP times 3 on like a health set or a speed health set. But you kind of need attack, HP, and resistance substats. It's kind of weird that you have to work attack into it, but oh wells. So the good thing about him is that he has really good heal cycles, but he doesn't have really high speed at all. And his base health is also super low. So this kind of makes him fall off in the long run, but he is a very good healer when you first start out of the game. When you're just like basically looking for a healer, farmers, whatnot, and if you don't pull like a 5-star healer right off the bat with your rerolls, Aether will do the job early on until you do. First artifact, you could probably run Shamadra's Staff, or you could run Vial, the Wondrous Potion Vial, but it's up to you on how much you want to dedicate into a 3-star Soul Weaver as well. Now we have the girl that I can never pronounce her name, Montmorency. I call it Montmorency. I have no idea what the C, why I switched to C, but it's Momo for short. So she is a healer, but most people like her after her specialty change, and we'll talk about her specialty change right after this. So her first skill lets you attack the enemy with a chance of putting them to sleep. Her second skill dispels 1 debuff from all allies and heals debuffed allies. Amount is proportionate to the ally's max health. Her third skill recovers allies' health and grants immunity for 2 turns, while increasing the combat readiness by 50%, her own combat readiness. An amount recovered is proportionate to the target's max health. So when you SOULBURN, the effect is granted for everybody. Her imprint is amazing because when you imprint on herself, she has increased resistance, which is needed. It's needed because when you specially change her. So she's good because she's a great cleanser early on and late on, because you can use her basically throughout the whole game. So she can AoE dispel, and she also heals the debuffed allies. And she also has a really nice defense starting off. You want to put her on Magor's Tome because it increases her combat readiness over time, especially with like her lower speed. You want her tanky, so you want to put her on HP set, a swift set, speed HP, speed HP defense, with really nice speed, defense, HP, resist subs. So you want her really tanky and speedy so she can keep cycling the health. I will tell you where I use a Momo later because that's where I use her as a Momo. So as early on, you're probably going to invest in her more than Aether, to be honest, because of her specialty change. A Momo is the specialty change. So specialty change is really fast. You just need to get Momo to level 50 and you just need to do all her quests. She's like basically farmable within like a couple hours. Her first skill gives you a chance to put them to sleep for a turn. Her second skill dispels 1 buff from all allies and heals debuffed allies, and the amount recovered is proportionate to her max health. So lastly, she recovers allies' health and grants immunity for 2 turns. It dispels 2 debuffs before increasing her own combat readiness by 50%. And the amount recovered is based on the target's max health. And when you SOULBURN it, it's for everybody. And basically her stats kind of like increase overall once you specialty change her. And she's just a lot more fun, to be honest. She cycles her skills a lot. I used her in a lot of PvP. I used her for my 3-man Wyvern 11, and she's still going to be used in my Wyvern 12 and 13. She's just really good overall. She's a solid unit, PvP-wise, PvE-wise. You're not going to stop using her, to be honest. You're going to build her just like Momo. So basically, after her specialty change, she has a 2-skill cleanse. She has super high effect resistance already. She has super low cooldown on all her skills, so you can cycle through a lot better. Cleanse, combat readiness boost, cleanse, combat readiness boost, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna cycle through things really quickly. And she also has really high base defense, and you can put her on Rod or Tome, because I use Tome because I want to cycle her turns. I want to heal more, I want to cleanse, I want to heal, cleanse, heal, cleanse, heal, cleanse. That's what she's there for. And then have immunity up here and there as well. You can also put her on Rod if you want her to just be based on healing. But I want to cycle it. So you want her either on speed resist, or you could do speed health, whatever. You just need to get that resist up, all the way up. You want her tanky, you want her thick. She needs speed, HP, resist, speed, HP, HP. Her substats are going to be speed, HP, defense, or resist. And resist, sorry. So get her nice and thick so she can be a tank and your healer. So there's Rima. I don't use Rima myself, but I know there's some people who likes him because of his cooldown advantages. So the first one attacks with an arrow, and when you land with a crit hit, it decreases his cooldown by 1. And when you attack with the second skill, he gives a chance of sleep. Third skill basically decreases cooldowns of everybody by 3 turns besides himself. And when you imprint him, the one that matters is the effective imprint more, not the defense flat. He's good because he basically gives cooldowns. I don't really know what artifact to use on him. Or according to some people and sites, it says Song of Stars is okay for him. I don't know if I want to give him that, if I'm not going to use him a lot. But you use a speed crit set on him, and you want to make him tanky with a high crit rate, because his first skill is based on that. And the substats you need is speech, HP, crit rate, and effectiveness. So basically, if you don't have an Asteria, there you go. Rima does it. But if you have one, meh. Jenna is a water mage, and her first skill lets her attack with a staff, and her damage is proportional to the number of debuffs inflicted on the enemy. Her second skill gives her a chance to decrease attack and speed for 2 turns. Her last skill attacks all enemies with frost magic and gives a chance of decreasing hit chance for 2 turns. And when you soul burn it, there's more damage dealt. I don't find her overwhelming, so she kind of just sits on the side, is not touched. And her imprints are not that great either, because she's her effectiveness one is okay, but her natural imprint, not the best. I don't think there's that many pros to hers, but I guess you could do like attack hit set and then just throw attack, crit damage, attack. Actually, I don't even think she's worth that attack crit damage. Just throw out all attacks. You want effectiveness on her and attack, but I don't really think she's worth, unless you really favor her, then go ahead. I'm not gonna judge you. I just don't think she's worth the investment. Let's talk about our Banshee, Misty Chain. She's also another mage. Her first skill claws the enemy and absorbs them to heal her allies. The second skill gives a chance to decrease attack, as well as give unhealable. The last skill attacks by absorbing the enemy's life force. Some of the damage dealt is absorbed to heal allies, and when it's defeated, it gets revived for 2 allies with the lowest health. And then when you soul burn it, there's more damage dealt. She's good because she heals. And she also gives like a lot of debuffs, and she can also revive. So, you know, they're all really good. You can use her on Wyvern, I believe, but there's other units that you could probably use instead. And, you know, if you are going to use her, I guess Daydream Joker does the job, and you want her on like an attack crit set or a lifesteal set so she could heal up more. Attack crit damage attack, speed crit damage attack, attack crit rate attack. You're gonna need attack subs on her, crit rate subs, speed subs, HP subs, crit damage subs, effectiveness subs. So it's a lot of things for her to work out well, and I don't know if I want to put so much effort on her if you don't have anything else. So the next character we have is Pretty Boy Ina, and he kind of reminds me of Sokka from Avatar. You guys know what I'm talking about? Just a little bit, probably because of like the ice and like kind of long hair, but like whoosh, pulled back a bit. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. So the first skill he has is Smash. And he attacks with an axe, and it gives you a chance to bleed for 2 turns, and it's based on the enemy's lost health. The lower their HP, the more he does. Second skill, he attacks with the 50% chance to decrease their attack and makes them unbuffable for about 2 turns. So he's probably going to need effectiveness for this to land both the defense and the unbuffable. The last one is Prepared Judgment. He gets a stance, I guess. He increases attack and crit chance for about 2 turns and increases combat readiness by 30. And when you soul burn it, he extends the durations by a turn. His third skills, it's all based on combat readiness increase. When you imprint him, he gets a flat attack, but if you imprint himself, he gets a crit chance increase. He is great because he has a decent base attack stat and he also has a defense break and he can anti-buff as well. He can also be useful in Abyss because he bleeds, but there's another unit of another elemental that does the job a lot better. So honestly, I would probably put him on Sword in the Morning because he gains speed as his health decreases. And you want him basically damagey. So if you're going to use him early on, you're probably going to put on an attack crit rate set. And so it's going to be attack, crit damage, attack. And you want to look for attack percent, crit rate percent, and effectiveness because you want to land the bleed, you want to land the defense break, and the unbuffables. Alexa's a 3-star thief, and she's actually pretty good as a little damage dealer early on, especially your early wyvern stages. So her first skill basically lets you attack the enemy, and when she lands a critical hit, she has an extra turn. Her second skill attacks with the Cold Blade with an 80% chance to increase 2 poison effects for 2 turns, and increases her combat readiness by 30%. And when you soul burn it, it ignores resistance. Lastly, she attacks the enemies continuously, dealing damage proportionate to the number of debuffs inflicted on the enemy. When you imprint her, she has a flat attack, so it's not that great, but yeah. Well, she's great for Wyvern 11, to be honest. She's great for your Wyvern team early on. She has poison, and she is a great single damager. And also for Lab, she has very nice morale. You're probably going to use Daydream Joker on her, to be honest. You want speed and a crit set on her because her first skill is based on having a crit set or crit hit. So you want to run either speed, attack, crit rate, speed, attack, crit damage, and have that crit rate high. So you can either change that to crit damage or crit rate. So it's up to you if you have the stats for it. For her substats, you're going to need crit rate, attack, speed, crit damage, effectiveness for that poison. I used her actually until I basically pulled SSB because I got SSB right off the bat. So basically my first core team was Vildred, Alexa, Angelica, and I believe, Clarissa. And then I pulled SSB and then they got to the side. But she's a really good unit to have for early damager. Lena is a 3-star farmer, basically. If you can't get a 5-star farmer right off the bat, Lena does the job just fine. So her first skill, she attacks and basically increases her combat readiness by 20. Her second skill gives an increased crit chance. And her last skill, she attacks all the enemies, she decreases their combat readiness, and she increases her own attack for 2 turns. And the damage is based on the enemy's lost health. So basically when she kills somebody, she has no cooldown and she can pop off again. She's great because you don't need high gear requirement for her. You can basically, and she'll work. She's great for a farmer. She's great for wyvern because she's also a water unit and she can bop, okay? I believe most people put her on Tonfa, and I like it a lot because you can basically one-shot more characters early on. So you can run her on a speed crit set or a attack crit set with attack, crit damage, attack. So basic attacker gear. And you want speed, crit damage, attack, crit rate subs. The next character we have is the Taranor Guard. He is mostly fodder food for me because I don't use him that much. First skill lets him provoke, and the damage is based on his max health. The second skill lets him reflect damage only by 30% of the damage received, and it also can't be higher than his own max health. Lastly, lets you basically attack and dispels all buffs, and it also absorbs all the damage as health. The damage dealt is based on his max health. So you can soul burn this for more damage. So his imprint is just flat HP. And he's a good tank, but he's only a good tank. So not very viable anywhere else besides that. And there are other units that are also given later on that's a lot better than him. So that is why he is not very a high tier character that's wanted or used for. The artifact you're probably going to use on him is Noble Oath. And he is basically an only tank. So you could use an HP set on him. HP times 3. And he needs like HP and resistance subs. The next character we have is Bask. Bask is a limited 3-star hero in the game. So that kind of sucks. So you can't have him unless you were there for the side story that I came out for. The first skill he slashes a sword with a 50% chance to decrease the attack for a turn. And the damage dealt is based on his max health. The second skill, he attacks with a shield and has an 85% chance to dispel all buffs. And the damage done is also based on his max health. So when you soul burn it, the cooldown of it decreases by 2 turns. His last skill lets you basically bring up immunity as well as barrier, and the barrier is based on his max health as well. So the good thing about him is that he can give an AoE immunity and he can dispel the enemy. However, he has really bad speed and he doesn't do that much damage at all. So you want to build him kind of tanky, so you want to build him like either with a defense set or HP set, like defense HP, speed, HP, defense, speed, so, you know, all the tanky stuff. He could be a Wyvern tank. Probably not for Wyvern 12 and 13 now that it's out, but Wyvern 11 for sure. And you could probably use most things like Egg of Delusion for him. So the next character we have is the Taranor Guard, which is basically used for his defense break in Wyvern 11, now 12 and 13. So his first skill lets him decrease defense with a total chance by 70% if you enhance it all the way. The second skill gives you an increased chance in dual attack, as well as increasing the combat readiness and the caster's attack for a turn when there's a dual attack. The last skill basically attacks and decreases their combat readiness by 40%, and the skill's cooldown is decreased by 2 turns when it's soul burn. When you imprint him, he gives you a defense flat, but if you just imprint himself, he has a crit chance imprint. He's a great unit overall for Wyvern 11, 12, 13. Most people turn off his skill 2 and 3 when they use him because they only want the skill 1 to land the chance of a debuff. Oh, but in order for him to really shine and do a lot better and most stuff, you might need to invest a little bit, especially in Wyvern 12 and 13. So that's why a lot of people are 6-starring him and loving him more, so they could get through it a little bit easier. So for the Wyvern team, you're probably going to use him for Daydream Joker, so there could be a little bit of burst of damage with his first skill. You want to run it with a speed and hit set probably. You want him to have effectiveness because that is what he is used for Wyvern. So you want him kind of speedy with attack, and the Daydream Joker basically just bops it a little bit more and do a little bit extra damage. His substats are attack, HP, effectiveness, and a little bit of crit rate here and there. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit informative, and I hope that you guys would enjoy that content a little bit more, just instead of just me summoning. I know summoning videos are interesting, but I wanted to help newer player as well if you guys don't really know what to build, how to build them. So I hope this is kind of useful, especially with early games. So we're going to continue the series with more 3-star elemental heroes coming up. And then we go to 4 stars and 5 stars, and then we talk about artifacts and whatnot, all that good junk. So I hope that'll be helpful. I want to say thank you guys so much for the support. We're like so close to 1K subscribers, and that's amazing to me. I never thought I would get to that even by 2020. So I'm very grateful. But if you're already here and you haven't done already, please hit that subscribe button so I can put out more content like this. I also stream on Twitch every single day. So if you guys ever want to check out my Twitch streams, follow me at twitch.tv/kittycat_cows. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!